What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Hope everybody is well. Today we're going to be talking about genetics. What can you guys do if you aren't really blessed with the best genetics, and what would I do, or what would I have done differently if I wasn't given the genetics which I was born with? Okay, so what do we mean by bad genetics? Well, that could mean a whole host of things, but today we're going to be talking about genetics and how that relates to building muscle, looking aesthetic, and so on. Now, bad genetics you would define as somebody who really has a tough time actually putting on size, as in putting on muscle tissue. Those people might also struggle to lose body fat, okay, or simultaneously have a lot of muscle mass and low body fat at the same time, okay. They may also have, a pretty unfortunate ratio in terms of bone structures, okay. So they might have a really wide waist, wide hips, and they might have like narrow shoulders. They may also have really awkward or not favorable muscle insertion points and origin points, okay. So somebody who, they might have like a square chest, they have like a big gap in the middle of the pecs. They may also have like a really uneven set of abs, so the six pack's all wonky and all over the place. And they might have, let's say for example, their bicep is not in the center of the arm, it's like right next to their shoulder, okay. All these kind of things you could define as someone not having the best genetics. Now, does this mean that you can't achieve great physique? Absolutely not. In fact, it does my head in when people out there blame their genetics for lack of progress and they almost instantly just give up and don't even bother trying again, okay? No, I've seen countless people make huge amounts of progress because of the hard work, the dedication, the effort which they put into their training, their nutrition, their lifestyle. They end up looking pretty goddamn amazing, all right? Obviously, there's things they can't change. They can't change your bone structure, you can't change your muscle origins and insertion points, but you can still look extremely good, build a lot of muscle, and lose a lot of body fat. So let's take an individual who has pretty shoddy genetics, right? Okay, they've actually done a bit of training and they've kind of found out, oh, okay, I'm having a harder time doing this compared to this guy over here. What could they do in order to look their very, very best, right? What they would need to do, they would need to follow a very strict nutrition program, okay? The nutrition would need to be regimented every single day. They can't afford just to be lax with everything, going out, eating what they want, eating cheat meals, and eating things which aren't necessarily agreeing with them. No, they have to be on point with it. The same thing with the training. They can't be skipping training sessions. They have to be training very consistently. They have to be training intense and on a very regular basis. If it was me, I would go to the gym and I would practice every single exercise relentlessly until I could get it absolutely nailed so that I could execute it to almost near perfection when I'm in the gym. And I have complete control over my muscles, which is gonna be moving that weight from point A to B. Now, if money was no option, I would hire a coach. And I would ideally get that coach to push me through a session every single day of the week, okay? Because I know I'd be able to get more from my sessions if someone's there to push me and to spot me and so on. Basically give me a kick up the arse, because everyone needs a kick up the arse every now and then. Let's assume that I wanted to look the very best that I could possibly look, okay? I would need to have so much drive and discipline within me. I would need to have like a Michael Jordan-esque mentality, okay, where I was so focused and driven on achieving this one goal. I had tunnel vision, nothing else would get in my way. I'd be so ridiculously competitive that I would be willing to do everything in my power to achieve that goal, to look the way I want to look, okay? So a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have that drive within them to reach that goal, okay? Those people with great genetics can kind of get away with it. They don't have to do nowhere near as much work in order to look good. If you don't have the best genetics, you have to have an outrageous amount of discipline, willpower, and so on, okay? Now, when it comes to me and the whole genetic side of things, how do I say this without sounding like a bellend? I've been lucky, right? I have without a doubt been lucky. You can see by the state of what I look like at 10 years old, okay? I have not had a huge amount of issues when it comes to building muscle and losing body fat. Yeah, obviously I've put in the hard work, I've been very consistent with it, and I've learned a lot about the process and how to execute exercises and so on. But compared to other people, I would say I'm definitely at an advantage. So let's take that advantage away and say that it was the complete opposite end of the spectrum. I have terrible genetics. I have a really hard time putting muscle on, losing body fat. And let's just throw it in there, I have a face like a smashed pumpkin, okay? I don't look great, okay? Would I still train and would I still go to the gym? I'm pretty sure I still would do, because I get genuine enjoyment and pleasure from going to the gym. I like the way I feel when I'm there, I'm lifting weights, I'm in the zone. It's like a meditation for me. I like listening to music and I like the way I feel after I've completed it. Let's say, for example, with these terrible genetics, I could look the way I look at this very point in time. But the price of that would be to make so many sacrifices that my life would be just really not that enjoyable, okay? My entire life would need to revolve around the gym. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I would need to be doing all those things. I need to have a coach, I need to get my sleep in, couldn't go out and drink, couldn't go out and eat food, you know, I would have to live this very strict and regimented lifestyle. Would I want to do it? No, probably not, because I don't have that competitiveness in me and I'm not that bothered, okay? I don't have that Michael Jordan-like drive in order to be, or in order to look the very best which I could look, okay? Without a doubt, I'd be doing something else in my life. Now, I ended up going down the career path which I went down because I played to my strengths, right? It's not something which I planned out for myself from like 18 years old, absolutely not. I didn't have a clue what I was gonna do, right? The thought of me being a teacher, being a coach, being a YouTuber, it never even came into my mind. But I'll tell you what happened the first few years of training. I was like, look at this, I'm putting on a bit of size, like I look all right. People were talking, people were noticing. I was like, hey, imagine what I could do if I actually dedicated all my time and effort to doing something like this. Maybe I could make a career for myself. And that's what I ended up doing. Now, if you're the type of person, you have terrible genetics, does that mean you can't be a coach? Absolutely not. You know, there's so many coaches out there that, you know, they don't have the best genetics. You know, they're not the best looking individuals, but they're still amazing coaches, okay? Because they know what they're talking about. They've spent a large portion of their lives doing research, reading books, and training clients and getting that experience and delivering results, okay? So there's loads of coaches out there who do a great job. You know, there's loads of people who've had amazing careers on YouTube and they don't look that great at all. In fact, they might have, you know, they're not even being blessed that great in the whole facial department. You know, some people like Casey Neistat, great guy. You know, he's absolutely smashed it on social media, YouTube. And he's not exactly the most handsome man out there, but that's not held him back in any way, absolutely not. Would I have gone into YouTube if I didn't have the physique which I had? Possibly. I mean, I probably wouldn't have gone down the same route of, you know, giving out training and nutrition advice. I maybe just have been like a full-time vlogger if that's something which I'd wanted to do. All right, I might even have just, you know, let's say for example, if I really didn't like the way I looked and I didn't want to be on camera, I probably just would have chosen a different platform and I would have been a podcaster, okay? I have always had within me this drive to be successful and this satisfaction from creating things and being my own boss. So I think no matter what path I would have chosen, either way I would have gone down it and I would have been successful. The most important thing I want you to take from this video is that I do not want you to think as though your genetics are holding you back in any way. Okay, regardless of what your goals might be, if you have aspirations in your career, life, relationships, friendships, whatever it might be, do not let them get in the way, okay? If you are hardworking, if you are consistent with putting in that hard work, you're assertive, you're confident, you're not afraid to take risks, you're not afraid to fail, okay? You're gonna be okay, right? And if you have any kind of insecurities about yourself, maybe the way you look, whatever they might be, get over them. The sooner you get over them, the better. You know, everyone has insecurities. I have insecurities about myself, but I just learned to get over them and get on with my life, okay? Otherwise, it's just gonna hold you back in so many ways you can't even imagine, right? And then you'll be older and thinking, oh, you know, what would my life would be like if I just kind of got over this or worked a little bit harder, right? The sky's the limit for you guys. Don't blame it on genetics or any other excuses, okay? You just gotta put that work in, all right? I hope you've enjoyed this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to it already. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.